It's good to do another one. I've been really excited about this, to be fair.
Me too. I really enjoyed the first one. Have you guys watched them back? Have you listened back? Is that a bit cringy?
I had to.
Yeah, I mean, most of the views are probably us three, to be fair.
1,000 views and they're all us. I watched it back.
Yeah.
I listened back. I wanted to test the theory. Can I listen on Spotify in the car? And I can. And to be fair, and I'm not just saying this, I've had quite a few people say, I listened to the podcast, it was really good.
Yes.
But people that I wouldn't necessarily expect to listen,
Yeah.
I thought that was class. So, yeah, second episode, here we go.
I think the more feedback that I got, the more I was, I needed to watch it back.
Wanting to do the second episode.
I've always been excited about the second episode.
Yeah.
I was excited when we said about the first, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I do slightly find it a bit cringy watching myself back, though. If we do a video for marketing or if we do a podcast video, I find it a bit awkward, but maybe that's just a hurdle I've got to overcome.
More comfortable just listening.
Yeah, for sure.
But for me, I quite liked it because I've got the kids in the car and I'm like, should we listen to something on Spotify? And it came up and Rain was like, Daddy?
Yeah.
Why are you on there?
Daddy's on the radio. That's amazing. I love that. It's golden when you've got kids, isn't it? That's brilliant.
So, how was Christmas for everyone?
Jade, go on, you go first. You kick off.
Christmas was good.
Yeah.
Very quiet. It wasn't the usual Christmas. Obviously, the one before that was in the Caribbean, so it's very different to that.
Bougie.
But yeah, it was nice. Spent a lot of time with the girls and, played games, ate lots of food, as you do at Christmas.
I love that, though. That's what it's all
and
about,
saw
isn't it?
family. So yeah, it was good. Really enjoyed it. What about you guys? What did you get up to?
Similar, just family time, really.
Nice.
Pretty much the same for me, with the added extra of I moved house just after Christmas.
Oh, yeah, you
Of course you did.
So 8th of Jan we moved, and look, we're all in the industry, but it felt like it was coming for a long time, and then when it happened really quickly.
Yeah.
But it kind of happened on the day, if you remember, where we had all of that snow. So we managed to get packed up and out before that hit.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to come back and hand my keys to my buyers because they were travelling from like the Isle of Wight, I think it was. So I had to come back through all of the snow. It was horrendous for them. Easier for me, but I did feel for them, to be honest. But we got there, we're in, we're settled. Yeah.
Is it good to have the last Christmas at your other house?
Definitely.
First?
And I think more so for my kids. I think
Yeah.
they enjoyed having that last Christmas.
Yeah.
Sentimental one.
But I think it's a sign of a house that you just know it's the right place for you when you feel you've settled instantly.
Yeah.
And like the girls settled instantly, we feel exactly the same. The best way I can describe it is you just feel like you've been there forever. So that's given me a lot of confidence that it was the right decision for all of us to do that. So, yeah, exciting times.
Like, obviously, I moved last summer.
Yeah.
And to everyone that's listening, that's interested, it's no different, is it, for people that are in the industry? It is just as stressful.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And
100%.
I would probably argue slightly worse, because when you're in the industry, you know the ins and outs, you know how long things
You
should
know how
take.
it should go, yeah.
And in the roles that we're in, you probably want to control the process.
Yeah.
And I think that's inevitable. But actually, I felt like, oh my God, I couldn't. I'm totally out of control here. And you've just got to try and find a way of stepping back and letting it happen.
Just go with it.
So it's very much easier said than done. And I do think people's perception, if they're not in the industry, is, oh, it'll be a breeze for you. You do this every day. But it literally isn't. So
Well, it's the most stressful thing that you can do.
it
isn't
is.
moving
Yeah.
house.
So to anybody
Prove
that
it.
is listening, we're with you. I feel you. We've all
Been
moved.
there,
We
done
get
it.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's fully relatable for us. So
Did you have any hiccups that you could discuss that might crop up again for other people?
not too many
How you
that
dealt
I
with it?
could discuss.
No.
Honestly, other than the fact that we progressed the chain to the point where we thought we were ready to exchange, and me, the team, were all over it, but it turned out, despite pushing, the bottom of our chain actually weren't ready to exchange. So it then delayed exchange by another couple of weeks. It then got to the point where, is it actually going to happen? Although it was the fault of the bottom of the chain, they then started making ultimatums. Well, if it doesn't go on this date, we're going to have to
Well, that's
rethink our
unhelpful,
plans.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Stressful.
it naturally was progressing quite well to that point. And then all of a sudden, a week or two of maximum stress, that was hard. So, as I say, I think that's just, for people listening, it's relatable,
Yeah, and I think sometimes people think that sales progressors that work in offices, like Jane in ours,
it's like they've got control. They can do something about it, but they can't.
No.
It's communication throughout the chain, but
Absolutely.
inevitable. There's going to be things that you just have to deal with.
Yep.
And time is normally, and patience is the way forward, isn't
For
it?
sure. And it's one of those unpredictable experiences. Sometimes things blindside you that you just don't expect.
Yeah.
And so, you've just got to try and find a way of dealing with it. Easier said than done,
Yeah.
but
We had
that's what we do.
We had like a land issue. So when we bought it, the reason why we wanted the house is because there was an extra piece of land next to it that was council owned, but they
Yeah.
looked after it for a certain amount of time.
Sure.
And we just thought it was already on the deeds, but it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
So it had
dear.
to be sorted. That delayed it massively. Luckily, we had a really good, patient first-time buyer on ours, which always helps.
Yeah.
For sure.
And to be fair, the bottom of the chain, they're the ones that have to be patient probably more than anyone, don't they, really?
Definitely. It's really funny you said that, actually, because I've just remembered an issue I can discuss. We had the same thing.
Okay.
So we've got a stream in our garden, and there's a patch of land over the other side, which turned out hadn't got a registered title. They bought it like 40 years ago. Thankfully, they had all of the paperwork to prove ownership, so we can go to land registry for first registration. But that was a little bit, squeaky bum time, I think.
Yeah.
And we've agreed that we'd complete on it. They would fund the first registration, and we would register it post-completion, which is basically what we're in the process
Again,
of
I
doing
think
now.
half of this is just a conversation to be had and a bit of understanding.
Yeah, for sure.
And they tend to go through, don't they? But yeah, it's,
Absolutely. And although we're kind of chatting about it quite casually, it may be that people listening have no idea what some of these terms are. We're quite casual about it because we've all done it for a long time. But sometimes things crop up that are quite scary. But actually, by having a conversation with us or one of our teams in the office,
That's it.
9 times out of 10, we can put it in simple terms that people that aren't experienced understand and support them with it.
But again, I mean, there was only 4 in our chain, and mainly because of that issue, it was between 5 and 6 months.
Yeah.
How
Takes
long
a
was
while,
yours?
doesn't it?
5?
Mine was 4. Just over 4.
Just over 4. Okay.
Which actually
So it's about
is
national
about
average, isn't it?
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
national
average.
average is that.
Yeah.
So, but as I said, things crop up, unexpected things happen. You've just got to find a way of dealing with them, haven't you?
you
Yeah,
get there in the
Guess
end.
that's life.
Did anyone host at Christmas?
Not this year because of moving, but
Okay.
normally
You
we
normally
do.
would?
Yeah, so I feel like we've got a bit of a free pass this year, which I'm
Yeah.
okay with. Did you guys?
Yeah, I did for the first time in a long time.
Christmas Day, Boxing
Christmas
Day.
Day.
Did you
Okay.
enjoy it?
Yeah, I love cooking, so
Okay.
and I'd rather, with chaos around me, I'd rather just be in the kitchen, just
Yeah.
in control of all that.
I do get that. Are we like
How
a
many did you
traditional?
have?
Hang on, got me thinking now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. 11. So it wasn't that.
Okay,
Wasn't that
so not
many.
Mate,
too
that's
And
still a
half of them-
decent
but-
number.
Yeah, but half of them are kids.
Fair enough.
And then obviously on the night, then my side of the family came round.
Yeah.
So then there was another 5, 7. So there was 18 at one point, I suppose, in the house.
Are you
Which
quite a traditional? Let's
Makes
have
me
the.
feel uncomfortable.
I can imagine, yeah, like roast turkey and that sort of thing, or
Turkey and did a gammon as well.
yeah, nice, really
enjoyed
good.
it.
I like
Yeah.
that.
With
Good.
kids, it's always difficult, isn't it? Because you've got to offer a little bit of selection.
You have, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, my kids are pretty good. They're like a roast dinner. They're like, they think it's chicken. They've got no idea. So hopefully we don't listen back to this in the car because that would be awkward.
Dad lied.
Daddy's lied.
It's basically the
It's
same.
chicken, isn't
It's
it? Let's be
white
honest.
meat.
Yeah, so they just think it's a chicken roast, and they absolutely lap it up, and they love it. But I'm quite traditional like that. I like a turkey. I like a bit of gammon. I like a bit
Yeah.
of pork. I like pigs in blankets. But the deal was we'd do it at my parents' this year. We normally do Boxing Day, but somehow we've inherited the responsibility of doing Christmas this year, 2026.
Okay.
Oh, but new house and
New
you're gonna be
house,
settled.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that's
New
nice.
routines,
Good plan.
yeah, absolutely. My dad won't thank me for saying this. They normally do an amazing roast, but this year I don't know where they found that turkey. It was like some Roadrunner thing, and it was chewy and horrible. It was grim. So first world problem, but not a great turkey. Would not recommend.
Nothing like
dear.
publicising it on a podcast.
Exactly. Sorry,
turkey
Dad.
was rubbish.
I am sorry.
And quickly, New Year. Does anyone have a New Year routine? Do you do the same thing? Do you?
I dislike
Mix it up.
New Year.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do. I like the fresh start element of it. That really motivates me.
Yeah.
But yeah, going out New Year and all the rest of it is just not
Not your thing.
Not for me. Took the girls out. We had a nice meal out, and we did vision boards and played games and stuff. But yeah, I didn't do anything overly exciting.
I like that. I mean, I have to say, as I've got a little bit older, I'm not really one to go out on New Year's Eve. If I'm really honest, I think I was probably in bed by about 11 o'clock, which sounds so boring, doesn't it? But we did the usual. We played games with the girls. We did the fireworks on the telly,
Yeah, nice.
pretending it was midnight, so they enjoyed it. And I went to bed like a miserable old man. But I look forward to a break over Christmas because it's full on, isn't it, our job? But I really do look forward to coming back and having routine and having structure, and I'm going to eat clean, and none of that's happened, by the way. I think.
How was your croissant, mate?
My croissant, yeah, great. I haven't eaten it yet. I think last week I managed to have a Rio's for my lunch every single day.
Did you?
Yeah, which is a really poor effort actually. So new year, new me, maybe.
Blimey.
Maybe not.
Are you in the gym? Are you in the gym?
Not as much as you. Blimey.
Yeah,
Is it twice a day for you?
you're smashing it, mate.
Yeah, twice
Absolutely
a day.
smashing
Well,
it.
I'll just get up and get out in the
I'm
morning.
in the gym a fair bit.
And then on the evening as well. Classes. I've also started hot yoga.
Hot yoga, is that the one?
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
In Redditch.
Yeah, so I've tried Redditch. A couple of friends over Solihull, so I might try there.
Shout out to Redditch Hot Yoga.
But it's it's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I've never tried it, obviously. But I quite like the concept.
I did it before.
Did you?
Yeah. Why are you laughing? I actually did really enjoy it, and I would definitely
Matt
do
doing
it again.
actually.
I just can't
Would you?
imagine.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
doing
I was
hot
the only
yoga.
male in there, but
No, there's a couple of males. There's been a couple of males. For me, I was thinking, right, I'm not very flexible. I'm going to be terrible.
I'm sure you're flexible, more flexible than me, Tim.
Yeah. I just went for it anyway and absolutely loved it.
Okay, maybe we should do a team bonding. Maybe we should do a hot
I
yoga
said this to
session
you,
together.
didn't I?
Jade's already said it to me.
Have you?
Arden yoga.
I was talking to James because I used to play a lot of tennis back in the day. I used to play quite competitively without bragging. I was quite good. And I got old and I got injured. And I've started to play paddle. And
Okay,
I have
yeah.
become obsessed
Yeah.
with paddle.
So many people.
I was gonna say, a lot of
so
people
many
get
talk
obsessed
about
with
paddle
it.
now.
So kind of local to me, in Astwood Bank, there's some outdoor paddle courts. They're just building some indoor paddle courts there, which looks amazing. I went over to Worcester the other day, and there's a place called Paddle and Play over there, and that is really good.
Is it?
It's a proper indoor setup. There's a bar, there's a club shop.
Nice.
Just really, really
There's
cool.
some at Barnt Green as well.
Barnt
paddle
Green,
courts.
yeah, absolutely. I forgot about that. So they've got Barnt Green tennis, or basically all racket sports. A couple of people that I know play over there as well. But it's really good. So if you haven't tried it, like with the kids, give it a go. I'd recommend it. You've got to have hand-eye coordination. You're looking at me like it's a solid
No,
no from
I
Jade
did it.
straight
No.
away.
So I'm going to tell you a secret now. I did a tennis lesson at David Lloyd a couple of years ago, and the instructor said to me, I looked like
Don't come back.
Patrick from SpongeBob's.
I hate to tell you, but that is not a
I
compliment.
was all over the shop. So, I don't know.
Did you pay him for that lesson after you said that comment?
I paid for the
You look like
lesson.
Patrick. It's £50, please.
And I was just all over the... I don't think tennis is my thing, but I would give paddle a go.
Fair. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's very similar.
Is
You
it?
know, a lot of racket sports, if you're good at one, you're probably good at the others. It's hand-eye coordination.
Can I just quickly mention my New Year's?
Go on, yeah, please tell us.
Because it's a little bit of a ritual now in the Paskin family. So that's obviously Louise,
yeah.
family. So her mom has like a New Year's Eve, proper like cheesy New Year's Eve party. Like back in the day, you'd have done in like the 80s and 90s.
Do you dress up?
No, don't dress up. But there is a thing that we do, which I'll get onto. But do you know what? Every year, and she won't hate me for saying this. Every year, it's like, party, stay up late,
Yeah.
games. Don't know whether I want to drink after like drinking more than normal at Christmas and things like that. But you get there and you just forget all of that.
You relax into it.
It's brilliant.
I love that.
Absolutely love it. And then at midnight, you do obviously the old lang syne
Yeah.
with the holding hands. It's like the other way.
I love
innit? I always
that.
get
You
confused
link,
with that.
don't you?
Yeah. And like party poppers and stuff. And then all the blokes strip down to the boxers and have to run around the block. Trainers,
quality.
pair of pants on, that's
Did
it.
you do it?
Yeah.
I've done it most years. I think that's the only year I didn't do it was because when I had gout, which you two obviously.
I nearly choked on my croissant there.
Not again.
For anybody tuning in for a property podcast, you're in the wrong place. This has taken an unexpected turn. So, how have you guys found the start of this year? Have you found it okay? Has it been busy for you
We've
guys?
been
Tell me about that.
surprisingly busy, actually.
it's been good.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
really, really surprising. Obviously, again, going back to the end of last year, I think the budget delayed, Christmas delayed. Then we
Yeah.
had some snow,
Yeah.
which I also found was obviously a delay for everybody. But yeah, once that cleared, the instructions and the momentum's really, really positive. Lots
Yeah.
of photos been done,
It's good.
listings and offers. I don't know whether it's the same at your guys' offices, but we've agreed a lot of offers.
Yeah, I think for us certainly, and everybody that I've spoken to, honestly, across Arden, I think it's fairly consistent. The back end of last year, if we're all honest, was a little bit quieter than ideal, probably because of the budget and then Christmas. The snow did hold things back. It's weird to say, isn't it? Because I'm a big believer that, seasons don't dictate market conditions. A lot of people think, oh, should I wait until spring? For me, it's about supply and demand.
Yep.
If there's not much stock available and you're ready to go and you've got buyers, just crack on and get your house on the market. But snow is one of those exceptions to the rule. It did slow things down for us, but it's been really buoyant. So I feel, probably like you guys, really positive. I think the year started well. I think there's lots of positive indications and vibes as to the market conditions. So, yeah, would you guys have a message for people that are thinking of moving this year?
Don't wait till spring, personally.
Yeah, I'd echo that.
No, I agree with that. I think, waiting till spring's the wrong thing to do. If you're
There's a bit of pent-up
motivated
demand,
and
isn't
you're
there?
ready,
There
you're ready
definitely
to go.
is. I mean, I think we can probably all answer this question, but is there a reason that you think people perceive spring to be a good time?
Just because everywhere looks better.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's the
Yeah, I
consistent
agree.
thing that we get back.
I think that's it, and I think timing-wise, I think a lot of people look at that sort of national average from sale agreed to completion and think, oh, we can get this in during the summer holidays
Yeah.
in terms of move
Yeah.
while the kids are off. So I think there's an element of that, but we all know that depending on the length of chain, it can either take a lot longer or it can be less than average. But I definitely think that. It's less seasonal than it used to be, if that makes sense.
I agree with that. And I think it's just sort of educating people that you don't have to wait until the weather's better. I mean, these days, you obviously all know, we take professional photographs. Well, we can really subtly edit in a nice blue sky. We can make it look sort of warmer. So, yeah, absolutely get your house on the market as soon as possible. The market's good. Rates have dropped a bit, haven't they? Mortgage rates, obviously base rates. So lots of positives vibes for this year.
I think the buyers are a lot more positive, aren't they? I've
think so.
found from the negotiators feeding back in morning meetings. They're having lots of positive conversations. Everybody's, really geared up to go and have a look at things.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I definitely think mortgage rates have helped that.
It's just nice to be busy again, isn't it? We were talking about
Absolutely.
getting back into routine, but it's back into routine and it's
Straight away.
really busy.
Absolutely.
Like valuations wise. Obviously, us three, that's our main job.
It's our
We're
bread
out
and
there,
butter,
and
yeah.
it's back to back pretty much most days.
It
which
is.
so nice.
4 and 5s a day. I think I had 6 the other day in one day,
it's
which
good,
is a
that.
lot. I was talking to Matt about that, but that's brilliant, and that's exactly what we want. We thrive off that kind of pace, don't we? And
course.
although we are a company that deals with a lot of volume, unlike some other agents, I think it's important just for people to be aware of the fact that we have bigger teams, so we have the capacity to deal with that volume whilst making sure we've got the right number of people in the office to provide a great service, to answer the phone, to be out still doing viewings. So, yes, we are bigger than some other people, but our structure's geared up to provide a great service as well.
Yeah.
And we're all very client-focused, aren't we? It's about the journey. That's my take on it anyway.
I've been having quite a lot of interesting conversations on valuations because the volume's definitely there now, and it's not necessarily people. A lot of people aren't yet ready to move.
Yeah.
But I say to them all the time, if you're on our radar, we're out valuing, three or four a day. It might be that I see something and they're not quite ready, but as long as you're marrying up the two, the two together, and keeping that communication up, it's never a waste of time. So these conversations, when you've got, it's a quick cup of coffee.
Do you know that's a good
it's
subject
helpful.
to discuss, really, because I have that quite a bit. I bet you have that more than any of us in terms of the other offices with the, haven't seen anything that I quite like yet, so I don't want to go to market.
They're always looking for something particular.
Yeah, and that's obviously difficult, but at the same time, that something comes up. I mean, how many times has this happened? It comes up and it's gone before they've even had the photos done. So, that's definitely something that I've come across again this month. Whereas it's just go for it, guys. Just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Jade probably has this more than anyone in terms of Bark Green, because in terms of the area and amount of properties that come on, it's small and they're more niche, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
But the element of someone waiting for something to come on the market, it's just the wrong way to go about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I see it a lot as well. And it's really difficult because we all know that people want confidence that I've seen something I like, so I'm going to be able to move, but it's not black and white.
No.
You might wait to find that property that you love, but actually by the time that property comes on, you're massively on the back foot because 3, 4, 5, whatever proceedable buyers are ready to go. So I think my advice on that would be, at the very least, get yourself market ready.
Yeah.
So, let's get out, value the property, let's get you signed up, and let's get your photos and your marketing done. Obviously, if you end up going through a different season, so you're photographed in winter and then you launch in spring, we can come back and do the outside photographs.
Yeah.
But the aim is to get you into a position where you see a house you like, at the very least,
You're
and
ready.
we're pushing a button to get you online and get you matched out to our database. The ideal scenario, in my opinion, I'm sure you'd agree, is get on the market.
Yeah.
Let's be transparent. We'll manage a buyer's expectations. For the right property, people will wait. How long depends on their circumstances. But let's get you sold. Your buyer understands they need to wait for you to find. And then you're in pole position when that property becomes for sale.
Do you know what I've done a few times in this situation is I've actually sent them the sold stock.
Yeah.
Because quite often you go onto Rightmove and you see what's available, what's for sale.
Yeah.
But I think they just need the confidence that there's a property that's going to be out there for them.
I agree.
It might be under offer, but nationally 1 in 3 will fall through.
Yeah.
So the chance of it happening and coming back to market, it's high.
It could happen, couldn't it? That's a good idea. I like that.
So I've quite often sort of copied and pasted and sent them an email with a few links of stuff. Look, that it's not.
Sold.
It's not for sale, it's sold,
Yeah.
but it gives you the confidence that there are properties out there that fit that criteria.
I think that's a really good idea. The other thing that I say to people is, if you see a property now, as we've just discussed, you're probably not in a position to go for it if your house isn't even on the market. But actually, it's not what's available now that's going to interest you.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that maybe even we're not aware of that might be coming to market in 2, 3, 4 weeks. I.e., get your house on the market, get yourself sold. We go to something, we can let you know about it, and then it appears on the market in 3 weeks when you are sold.
Yeah.
It's
There's
the fear
so
of the unknown for a lot of people, isn't
Yeah.
it, I think?
There's
But-
so many conversations that I've had like that. That's you sat down at a valuation and somebody's told you about their wish list, and it isn't out there right at that particular moment. But then the week after, you go and value something, and you think, oh my god, that
Exactly.
tallies up to exactly what they wanted, and you can gear them up ready. So again, it's listening and giving the right advice, and
Absolutely, and that's my
getting
point.
people ready.
It might not have even been on your radar at that point, but the
Exactly.
week later you happen to go out to something. So get yourself
But become
market ready.
proceedable
That
at
is
the earliest
the
possible
best
stage.
advice that we can give.
Have you two looked? This is probably a little bit geeky, but I like this type of thing. Have you looked at where you were at this time last year already?
Yes.
You have, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one. Yeah.
No,
okay.
I think we're all quite geeky as it so
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
So we're ahead by quite a bit on new instructions, and I think this time last year I thought January started well.
Yeah.
So it shows how much it's moved forward this year. Sales-wise, about the same. So I don't know how you two feel about it. Where you at?
Sales, we've over doubled.
Wow,
That's
what,
massive.
than
It
last
is
January.
yes, it is
Okay.
absolutely incredible.
That's huge.
And instructions, I would say, we're definitely ahead.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Why would you say that? Do you think the sales have doubled?
Do you know
More
what?
confidence,
January.
or
I don't know. I think I put it back to the delay last year. I think everybody was so uncertain, and now they've got that certainty. I just think people are out viewing and making offers. They're ready to go.
Okay.
But the sales have been, really good.
I would just add at this point, just in case anybody's tuning into this episode and they didn't watch the first one, that obviously Matt's based over at Bromsgrove, Jade's based at Barnt Green, and I'm predominantly based at Redditch. And so the reason we're like quite surprised by that is because Barnt Green's like quite a high-end micro market, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bromsgrove and Redditch as a marketplace probably have more similarities, but it's a lower value price point.
But there's always a pattern.
Definitely, and the pattern often corresponds with all of the offices. But that's brilliant. I mean, we are probably, broadly speaking, on par with where we were this time last year.
Okay.
We've started well in respect of listing properties. We're selling well, which again is a good indication that there's confidence in the market. So, as we said earlier, I think that there's lots of reasons to be positive. And if you're a buyer or a seller, seems like a good marketplace to get involved in.
Yeah.
100%.
And can we see this carrying on, do you think, this year? Because obviously last year it really did tail
Take a
off
dive,
end of summer, didn't it?
It did. I mean, my view, I don't know whether you guys agree with this, but I feel like this year is just going to be fairly stable.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly predicting any sharp peaks or troughs. I think we're looking at relative stability. Supply and demand can obviously slightly impact price, so no one's got a crystal ball in that sense. But I think prices are holding well. Generally, we're selling things for really close to asking price. In some cases, over if the strategy's right. Do you agree with that? Is that your prediction?
Yeah, and I'd say anyone that's thinking our house price is going to increase massively this year, I don't think they will.
Yeah,
I think,
I agree.
In terms of pricing, certainly in Bromsgrove, I think we're still where we were 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Anything that's going on for considerably more, then they're the ones that unfortunately aren't moving at the moment.
Sticking.
So,
definitely, and it's a difficult balance, isn't it? Because as a seller, you instinctively want the best price for your house, and all estate agents value differently, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's important just to add in that you've got to be realistic in your pricing.
Of course.
Look for somebody that can justify why they're giving you that advice.
Yeah.
Think about strategy. Post-COVID offers over has become more of a thing, hasn't it? Which doesn't work in all cases, but can work in some other cases. So you just really want to be careful not to overvalue. I personally believe there's no such thing in this sort of market as underselling a property. No. If you price something too low, naturally you'll get more people through your front door, and it will drive the price up.
It's been evidence of that this year. Really.
A lot of people think, well, I don't want to undersell it, and I get that fully. We want the best price. But actually, it's a greater risk to you as a seller to overprice it, sit on the market, and then have to drop, compared to a slightly lower pricing strategy, dependent on what part of the market you're at, getting more feet through the door, creating a bit of competition and driving the price up. So, yeah, just pay attention to who's in front of you, take the advice, and make sure that person gives you some good, solid evidence.
It's all relative, isn't it? You go sort of 2021 when the prices were quite high and a lot of stuff was going for more than asking. You'd end up, if you were buying on anyway, you'd end up probably paying more for your onwards.
Absolutely.
So it's just relative, isn't it?
Definitely.
Absolutely. I mean, without sort of reliving the past and going back to COVID, if you remember, there was no stamp duty. Interest rates were dirt cheap, and people were loving the fact that their house, based on supply and demand, was selling for 40, 50 grand more. But actually, you ended up overpaying by more than that on the other end. So it's more of a level playing field now. Hence, I've said I think it's a good time for people to consider moving.
Yeah,
personally,
definitely.
The last episode we filmed at 3A, in the front of 3A, and Gav has very kindly allowed us to have the back room, which is very nice. I like it in here. Also at 3A. So huge shout out to Gav.
Thank you.
He's been amazing at supporting us. We are doing our best to support his business. Would strongly recommend anybody does the same thing.
Oh my goodness.
His cakes are good.
His cakes are good.
It's brunch, it's evening food, it's caters for everything.
It is, absolutely. They have
Quick
DJs
coffee.
on. We're eating a croissant as we speak, but one of my favourites on the menu is the spicy Endure eggs. We were talking about that earlier. So, thanks, Gav. Really appreciate your support.
Did you guys realise that from our first podcast we got some questions?
No.
That has blown my mind.
No.
People watch our podcast?
No.
What?
Gets
Okay.
positivity.
Have you got the questions to ask?
You've got them. I've sent them to you.
Oh, I've got them.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Hang on, let me load it up. Okay.
I like the idea of question and answers though.
And me.
I think that's
Yeah, okay. So I've got a
go.
couple of questions on here. So I've just blown my mind that someone's actually watched the podcast and asked us a question and bothered to send it in. If you love our episode, this episode, do the same. Like, this is great. So, okay, this is a fairly generic question, but I'm a first-time buyer. I don't know where to start. What would you advise?
Okay.
What's our advice
Well, you've got to
on
get your
that?
ducks in a row, haven't you?
first and foremost very exciting for first-time buyers.
Yeah.
What an exciting opportunity.
Absolutely. Start of your journey in the property world.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. So get your ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that look like?
Get registered local agents.
Yeah, definitely see a good mortgage advisor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
know where you're at. Work out your monthlies. You could be
Figures.
in rented accommodation currently, and
Yeah.
you're probably paying more for that property for rental than you
would be your
if you
mortgage.
had a 10% deposit and paying mortgage. So I think it's definitely the best thing to do first and foremost.
Yeah, I think
Credit score, things like that.
absolutely. And
Just
obviously,
understanding what fees.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
yeah, we can't
you're
give any
looking at.
advice on finance or credit per se, but I think exactly that. If it were me doing it and somebody asked me that question, I would get on something like Experian or something like
Yeah.
that. Get an idea of what your credit score is, but speak to a good whole of market independent mortgage advisor. That is not a plug for any of our services.
HLC are pretty good, aren't they?
HLC are pretty decent. Call them. But any whole of market mortgage advisor will be well placed to give you some really good advice.
Yeah.
Understand your affordability,
Yeah.
how much you can afford, what sort of a deposit you've got, what your repayments might be, and then I would get registered with some local estate
yeah.
agents and just get a feel for properties. You're in a great position as a first-time buyer to go out and view. I wouldn't just view anything, but I'm a firm believer that you need to walk through a front door rather than prejudge something on
Yeah,
Rightmove
definitely.
to get a feel for it.
Definitely.
Create a short list of things you want. You'll figure out things that you don't like, and then make an offer. How exciting!
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But speak to your local agent as well in terms of ask for advice.
Yeah.
You know, our sales negotiators would talk through that process just like we have if you
Yeah.
phone them up.
Absolutely.
You know, don't be scared to
I think that's
just
one of
ask
the
for
first
advice.
questions, isn't it? Like when we take a viewing, especially if they say they're first-time buyers, our negs are all kind of trained up to discuss that with them.
Yeah.
Do you know where you're at, your affordability, your budget, and all the rest of it? So yeah, just
Well, that question came through from Matt S. So I hope that answers your question, Matt S. Whoever you are, I hope you enjoy our podcast.
Cheers,
That's
Matt.
good. I have got a second question here, which I'm just thinking there's not that much that we're going to be able to do, but we can talk about it. So my property has been on the market with another estate agent for 8 weeks, unsold. I am tied into a contract. Is there anything you can do to help,
Okay.
or any advice that you can give?
okay.
Who wants to shoot on that one?
Well, first and foremost, don't like the idea of being tied in for a long time with the contract.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, that's not just to just talk about Arden, but in terms of just the 28-day notice period. I think it gives you confidence in the agent that comes out, the valuer that comes out and says the figures, that you are almost free to go after giving the 28-day notice.
Basically, yeah.
And a lot of agents will tie you in for 12 weeks plus the 28-day notice period. At that point, a property's been on for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's done a lot of harm to that property in 4 months if it's not
has.
sold.
Yeah, I mean, just on that point, because I think it's probably fair from all of our interactions with potential clients that not every agent discusses their contract terms when they're on evaluation.
Yep.
So this is not,
There's not a lot of transparency on
bad-mouthing
it.
anybody, but
No.
I think it's important that if an agent doesn't volunteer their contract terms on evaluation,
Transparency.
I would ask why. And if they don't, I would certainly ask the question, how long's your contract? Because for me, the longer someone ties you in, it gives the agent security and it puts the agent in control. We talked earlier about this being a journey for the client, and we're very client focused. So, make sure you go with someone that is transparent and doesn't tie you in for a long time. My take on that would be, truthfully, that there's not a fat lot that we can do to help if you're stuck in a contract. Depending on the journey that you've been on, it might be, if you have a conversation with that agent, your agent, that they release you early, but it's doubtful. Chat to them about price, any
The
strategies.
agent should be communicating with them on a regular basis.
They should be.
shouldn't they?
And of course, we're possibly assuming that they're not, but they might be.
Yeah.
So, you know, go back to your agent that you're on the market with, understand the journey. You know, look, I've not had many viewings. What would you advise? Even if you have to prompt them, because you're probably going to be stuck in that contract for a bit longer.
At that stage, at 8 weeks, it's actually a very good idea to have conversations with other agents. I have these conversations quite a lot, and again, yes, obviously majority do tie them into the 12-week term. But at that stage I sit down and I say, look, what's worked very, very well and what hasn't worked very, very well. Majority admittedly do come back and say the communication's been poor, or the feedback's been poor, or the viewing numbers have been low. But yeah, it's probably the right time, and obviously at that point then you give notice and you either switch or, you know, after I've offered our expertise and our strategy, they may have gone back to their other agent, changed and tweaked a couple of, you know, bits on the marketing and ended up selling.
I'm cool with that though, because
it's fine.
As much as we'd love to get people on the market with us and help them sell, if somebody calls us for some advice and we,
It's
you know, we
always about the
physically
right
can't
advice.
get them on the market with us because their circumstances don't allow it, call us. You know, let's have a 5-minute chat. It might be that we can help you, and you get sold with the agent that you're on the market with.
I've had
Brilliant.
people come into the office, and just after a conversation, valuation, we haven't got the instruction, but I've given them, you know, good advice where they are right now, maybe on the market with another agent, and they've gone and spoken to that agent, they've implemented what I've said, and they've sold, and they've come in and said, if it wasn't for you and having that conversation, we wouldn't have become sold, but they end up buying through us.
I love that.
So again, it's just doing the right thing by people.
But look, to make it clear, all of us don't get everything right either.
No, absolutely not.
But the communication and being honest with people, and if we have made a mistake, we need to own it.
You've got to be accountable.
And we need to make sure that we've done it early on.
Yeah.
You know, whether if it's not working, why it's not working, what do we need to do to fix it?
Yeah.
And I think if they see that from their agent, they still believe in that agent personally. They still have confidence in it. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, that is the end of our questions. We had 2 this week, which is amazing. So if anybody else
should we go for 3 next
wants
time?
to send in some questions for our next podcast episode, that would be great. And I think that's a really cool way to end the podcast.
Yeah.
Any questions you've got, send them in.
I love that, an outsider.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Question time.
we'll discuss anything. Hopefully that helps. Send us a message if you need anything. So I've enjoyed that, guys. That's been really good.
It too.
Yes,
Good
very
to get
good.
together. So plan for the next episode. Going to do the same again next month, right?
Yeah, I think
Love
so.
month, February.
Love month.
Love month.
Love month.
Brilliant.
It's my birthday Sunday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Happy birthday for
And
Sunday.
mine.
The big
Is yours
fours.
the
How old
first?
are you?
0. Yeah,
40.
first.
Same
It
birthday.
wasn't the
got the same
first.
birthday.
Is it?
Come on, are you 40 as well?
I'm 40, cheeky bugger. No.
Well, happy birthday for Sunday, guys. I hope you have a great
Thank you.
birthday.
Cheers.
And I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Yep,
Yeah.
February, here we come.
We'll
Cheers.
see you all next month.